Hello,
Hi everyone,
everybody.
we are
We are.
hi everyone, I'm Nico and I'm here with Coco. We are about to discuss a topic. This is a pilot episode of our podcast. And
Yeah,
in this episode we'll talk about how modern society has negative effects on both men and women. So what are your thoughts on that, Coco? What's like your statement on that? Is it true?
mm-hmm. Also, something to keep in mind for the listeners at home. We live very far away, so there's like a second or two delay between when we talk.
Yeah, so we have to be very careful because we might talk all over each other. So that
Yeah,
that
just
that,
keep that
that
in
we
mind.
should be careful with. So yeah, I think we can start the topic right now.
Yeah,
Uh, our friend Kiel said we can talk about negative effects on men and women that modern society has. So
yeah.
we can talk about that.
If you
And
have any
my
sort
personal
of.
opinion on that is obviously true. If you don't know
Yeah,
self improvement, if you know about some things about the world, it's just pretty obvious that this is just a really really complicated topic that nobody will ever have like the same 100% same opinion on. But most of the people that are quite smart might think that this is true because it's factual, it's true.
yeah, it's
You
true.
can notice the decrease in testosterone levels for men, which has been scientifically documented, right? You can
Yeah,
see that the people aren't gonna, yeah, the people aren't gonna be reproducing no more because of the LGBTQ community, of
yeah,
because of feminists mainly. The studies have shown that by 2030, um, 50% of the young men in the United States will be single, and they will likely move to, become passport bros. Go to Philippines, go to China, go to Mongolia, go to Russia, whatever. Because these countries are traditional. They have beautiful women, of course, and I think the feminists will be mad about that because nobody
yeah.
will
I
stay
honestly
in
think
US.
that,
So that's quite, yeah, that's a dark
yeah.
scenario.
Uh, Feminism is like, it reminds me like of a little child who is like saying everything like the adults do is like bad or something, like because they go against every single thing of like the past millennia or so for no reason. Like if it's old it
Yeah,
must be bad, right?
it can't be all wrong. Like
Yeah.
if
If
I'm
it's
not, I'm
lasted
not.
for millennia, it has to be right in some way,
Yes,
you know?
yes, of course. So um, people that are quite like, I must say woke, but I don't mean like leftist, libertarian woke. I'm talking about people that are on self improvement, listen to Andrew Tate. I'm not saying that Andrew Tate should be like taken 100% seriously because
Yeah,
he's
he should
not a
be
good role
like,
model.
any sort of normal guy. Some things are good, some things are bad. Just critically think, you know?
Yeah, he's no, he's an experienced man. He knows a lot about the world. I've learned so much
Yeah.
things from him. But yeah, he's talking about those things in a way that makes him a little more famous. But the people are
Mm-hmm.
gonna hate him for that, and it's easier
Yeah.
for you for the people that don't want you to like him. It's easier to make you not like him. So
Yeah.
that's a mistake he made, but we not don't talk about Andrew Tate. Get a little off topic there.
Yeah.
So let's
This, this
let's
reminds
come back
me.
to the topic.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Back on topic.
wait,
I was
wait.
gonna talk
Um,
about this whole, like, thing about, like, milliground or something, but that's off topic, isn't it?
I think it is. So yeah. So,
Yeah.
um, uh, yeah, first of all, indoctrination. There is a lot of like,
Yes, yes. Oh God.
yeah, the
So
preschools
often.
and primary schools are just messing with
I swear, I
children's
remember
views on the
I
world.
was looking online and there's this like preschool book about like gays or something. It's so cursed.
Yes, yes,
I
bro.
don't
And
know
we
why
as
they.
Muslims, I just like,
Yes.
I just can't believe that religious people are around that to happen because uh, Christianity, Andrew Tate talked about that too.
Yeah.
Christianity is just mocked in every possible way, and the Christians aren't doing anything about it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that the stuff that ISIS does and Taliban does in any sort of
Yeah.
way good, but they at least they're showing people what they are capable of when it
Yes.
comes to defending their own religion and tradition. I'm not saying that this
Yes.
is good, but they are just defending their religion. They don't know any better, okay?
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean, when push comes to
unknown.
shove, you
Yeah,
have to do
there is like
something.
there is like Antifa versus like right wing or some clashes, right? But
Antifa is
there is like
cringe.
leftist way.
They
Yeah,
say they're fighting against fascism, even though no one seriously
they are
preaches that.
fascists. They are. They are the real
They,
fascists.
I
They,
mean,
but
I hate
because
how in our
fascism is left
society,
wing, bro.
yeah, I mean, the thing I don't get is like everyone on all the political spectrum, they throw fascism like it's some sort of insult instead of like analyzing the actual meaning of what that word is.
It's just ideology, bro. It doesn't hurt anyone. Like
Yeah.
Nazis, they hurt a lot of people, but fascism isn't linked with Nazism in any way.
Yeah, it's
So,
like
because and this is leftist. This is just a left wing movement, bro.
yeah.
And
This is like
so
reminds me of Chaz, where the people in Seattle, they launched a revolution against the US government and within a month they ran out of food and there is crime everywhere. And they ended up having to go back to the Seattle government instead. It was so funny and tragic as
oh
seems
god.
funny. It was,
um,
funnily enough, that was the
yeah,
most successful of all of the leftist revolts.
yeah. Ironically, but that's true. I don't know about any single event that happened. There is like
Yeah.
a victory for the left wing, like a rational victory for the left wing, right? So
Yeah, they're always all like, we're gonna do this, but they don't think it through.
like the way of thinking about like leftist way of thinking is very feminine. Like they
Yeah.
do politics, but they are very like
Yeah, it reminds
focused
me,
on people's
uh,
feelings, bro. They don't
there's
care
this
about the
thing
facts.
about societal values. I remember what learning something about this, and it had a bunch of societal values on a scale, and like pride is the most masculine and anxiety is the most feminine. And of course, all the leftist liberals in the West, they're all on the anxiety parts, which is the most feminine of the ideologies of a society.
Well, that seems logical.
Yeah,
They're anxious. They're frightened. They're just like huge bigots, right?
yeah. And there
Huge
is
bigots.
no society as of this current day that has pride, which is the most masculine one. Which,
I think that because I live in Poland, I am Polish, right?
yeah,
And people that live in Poland are pretty like patriots, not the new
yeah,
generation, which I'm just so ashamed of. But the
yeah,
people
yeah,
are like 40-year-olds, even 30-year-olds, like they're just so proud of being Polish. Poland has a great history, bro.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I my my
I think
my
Poland
teacher.
is it in this transitioning period between guilt to anxiety?
No, no. You know why?
Why?
Cause we overcame it, bro. Just listen to
Uh,
that. In 2017, there was like couple of marches, couple of maybe not couple of. There was like plenty of
mm,
it. Like acts of vandalism towards like right wing politicians, and I think Poland is like very very. No, this is just not important. Poland is not important. So
yeah, it isn't.
society is manipulated in every other way, but the left right wing
Yeah,
balance is still like there is no balance. There is just right winning everywhere. I
yeah.
think left wing won in like three cities out of 30, so it's
Uh,
like a real
base.
low numbers there. So yeah, we overcame the plague, the epidemic of this,
Yeah,
transition
honestly,
into.
nationalism looks like the best ideology ever compared to the suicidal wokeism in the West, where they like self-flagellate, you know?
Yes, of course, bro. Like there is a real like nationalism isn't bad. Like there is nothing bad about this.
As
Um,
pros as
I am
cons, like all things, you know?
I could say I'm a nationalist, but have you ever seen me like being racist or like xenophobic? Like I'm not talking about how other countries are bad. I'm just proud of being a Polish lad,
Yeah,
of course, being Polish, right?
nationalism is just saying you have a good country in it.
Is it? Yeah, it is. That's just what it is. People are just trying to make it bad, make it look bad, right?
Yeah,
So,
because it's
I
the
think.
left.
Wait, wait,
They're
wait, 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 wait,
trying
wait,
to
wait, wait, wait.
say, oh, look how bad it is, because it's directly opposed to their ideology, you know?
Yes, and this is just a show of bigotry.
Yeah.
It's just a show of bigotry. There's nothing else more like there's nothing more to bigotry than just not listening to
You
all the
know,
people
there was this
political views.
very funny thing I remember in Chaz. So there was this park, and it had a place sectioned off exclusively for blacks. No white people could enter, and everyone
Yeah,
else
but
had to go in as a different place. They're literally enforcing Jim Crow laws in the 21st century. I don't know why. They're putting a
like a
positive light
reverse.
on it. Yeah.
There's just like a reverse apartheid, right?
Yeah,
What
basically.
the hell, bro? This is just racism. And
I
another
know, I
another
know.
thing, racism does not exist when it's like if someone attacks white men, there
Yeah,
is nothing we can do. We can't call those people racist because we have been racist and sexist for the past couple of centuries, right? So nobody cares about those. And I think feminists want revenge. They don't want equality. They want
yeah,
revenge.
yeah,
They
they
want
want revenge, not
superiority.
equality. That's very clear by their destructive sorts of ideology. It's not,
It's not an idol. Wait, there is in South Africa, right? There's people
South
just
Africa.
black people kill white people the same as they did to them. Like all of the upper eyes. Not
Yeah,
it's just a little over the line. I think that revenge. I don't
yeah.
think there's
This
what
is
Mandela
also
fight for.
present in Brazil, where it's very common, in South Africa and Brazil, where like a bunch of the poor black people, they kill the richer white people. This is why they have some of the highest like murder rates or crime rates in the world.
Brazil's mad. You can find Brazilian and South African videos all over like gore sites. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just true. And another thing, gore and adult films. You can't say the p word here because we are gonna upload it to YouTube, right? So we we will be flagged like pretty quickly. So um uh, adult
I mean,
content.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
the YT bots will understand what the accent you're saying.
Maybe I don't care, bro. And but just hear me out because that is a very important thing.
Yeah.
It's just adult content. Why are you giving this to children? Why is it on
Yeah.
Twitter? Why isn't Pornhub? Oh shit. Yeah.
Uh-oh,
Why
you
is what?
said the uh-oh word. Uh-oh. It's fine, it's fine. Your
I
accent
think
makes
I
it
think
unintelligible to the bots.
yeah
They are
yeah bro.
designed to pick up on the most generic American accents like mine.
Yeah, so yeah, they will. I think if we put subtitles like the YouTube generated subtitles on our videos, I
It-
think half of the time they're not going to be able to
Half of the
read my
time they won't
accent.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm scared that people will be like that too. Like, what is this guy saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, adult content, right? So why isn't the all adult films sites like verifying, like the verification is like really needed? And just like show your ID, show your ID
Yeah.
or show your driver's license. Like it's that simple. You just can't let children watch those things because they become degenerate. They
Yeah.
expect something from like reproducing and sex. They represent just this is just pure degeneracy.
Yeah, this is
And that
why countries,
12-year-olds.
countries like
You f-
India or
yeah,
China, they completely ban it. The only way you can access this
Ukraine,
is with a
Ukraine, yeah,
VPN.
Ukraine did it too.
Do they ban it in
Ukraine banned
Poland?
it. I think no. No,
Oh.
no, no. The sides aren't banned. Don't
Yeah.
ask me where don't ask me where I know this
I
from.
see
But yeah, the
people who
sides aren't banned.
actually are like, oh no, we don't want it banned because my freedom of expression or something.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna talk about some people in Poland that got assassinated because a lack of freedom of speech. I'm not talking about that because this is just too dangerous for me as a Polish man. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's just a really, really bad topic to actually discuss right now. This is just so dangerous.
Yeah.
People get assassinated for lack of freedom of speech.
Yeah. That's in Poland. In America, they're like, but freedom of speech. What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
see, I
it's just
see.
isn't only Poland.
Yeah.
It's not Poland only. It's just like
Yeah.
Andrew Tate, for example. Like,
Yeah.
what did he do,
Yeah.
bro? It's
Like
just
in
obvious that he's
Romania,
holding him.
And
It's
he's
it's so
screwed.
corrupt. They're so
This is
corrupt, bro.
why America is based because, like, most of the time you don't get detained for that sort of stuff because everybody's gonna be pleading the first. You know? It's funny.
Well, in America, I'm sorry, but America is just like Americans. This stereotype of dumb Americans doesn't. It just hasn't come. It's just not coming from nowhere.
It comes from
Is
older perception of Americans before the leftists took over.
actually, the left is just like worse than it. Like not knowing who got assassinated in this and that year is.
Yeah,
I think this is just.
because
it's,
like
it's
the
just like
American
how the people are
stereotype,
told,
it
bro.
comes from like the old Republicans, I actually, you can still see it a lot in Republican states. It's kind of true. Like,
Yeah.
it is surprisingly common to see a bunch of churches in my area. Like, I even once, like, there's this town, uh, me and my mom drive to, and it has
Yep.
this church with like a giant 50-foot cross. It looks amazing. It's like a super huge cross. I notice it every time we drive there. It is amazing.
But that's just I'm not a Christian, 'cause that's just
I'm
amazing
not a
to
Christian
see.
either, but I just have to admit, it looks cool, alright? It looks cool seeing a giant 50
Yeah,
foot cross in the middle of
I
town.
care about every religion, and when religion is in the country is gonna be very like not so degenerate as
Yeah,
America.
honestly, as long as they aren't some degenerate atheist, I mean, follow what religion you want, right?
Well, viewers will not understand,
The viewers
but yeah,
won't.
viewers won't. We can tell them like in
Because, like,
some
one
other
thing you
episodes, some
notice
other
about
podcasts.
society is
So yep,
atheism, it just causes it
that's
to
all true.
degrade.
This is just factual, bro. This
Yeah,
is
if
like the
factually
pure.
analyze it, you can see atheism only causes bad things for society. It's throughout all of history, we've seen it only causes either the society becomes horribly corrupt and totalitarian, or it becomes impotent and it's like collapses under its own weakness and loss of will to live. There's only like two
Yep,
results we've ever seen from atheist societies.
yep. What about communism? Communism is based like on atheism.
Yeah,
Poland, for
communism is
example.
exactly these atheist policies. It's exactly why it failed.
Yep.
Because
I have a good example for that. I'm learning. I've learned so much about communism in Poland. There was like a regime. They killed. After the World War Two, I'm gonna give you a. I'm gonna give all of you a little history lesson right now. Because when the Second World War, like Second World War, was ended, like just has ended. The Poland wasn't actually sure what to do with its borders. Didn't know what the borders were,
yeah,
and the Russians took over right after the Warsaw Uprising. They took
mhm,
all of that. They took all of that. It took just they just were in charge for like half a century. They killed our soldiers. They start because our soldiers started to like just we had a pole like the underground
yeah,
army because the Nazi Germany was like all over the place. Like they were controlling everywhere. Besides, like the
yeah,
oh, so it's a long story, but let's just go back to the communism.
yeah,
And right after the war ended, there was some people um wanted to fight for the real freedom because the
yeah,
communists wanted to like take out Poland, just like they faked all of the elections and stuff, so the people started to really dislike the government,
yeah,
and they didn't even talk with them, they just killed all of them. And the Polish people were still so like Poland is Catholic, and
yeah,
it was
yeah,
and it will be. I I hope it will be Catholic. It will stay Catholic. So we had Polish Pope, right?
yeah.
John Paul II. We had mm, uh
I think the current
it's
Pope Francis, right?
yeah. So this
Yeah,
I think that because we got Paul was a pope during the during the actually it was the fall of communism, wasn't that? It
yeah.
wasn't that. It wasn't like
Honestly,
wait, when did I'm a
ideology.
search it up. When
Oh
did it
yeah.
become pope? Wait. I'm a search something up.
What?
I want to see I want to know when exactly in which year John Paul II became a pope. Because they would tell me a lot.
Oh. I think ideologies like that occurred in the former half of the 20th century, like Nazism and communism and all these sorts of other ideologies like that, they're more so a reaction the West
Okay, I
had
know.
in the
It
decline in
wait, wait,
religion.
wait. He's become a pope in the 1978. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he stayed the pope. Stayed for like Yeah,
Yeah, he
some
was.
time. He was a pope for some time. He was an assassination attempt. He survived it, and the Polish people just believed in him. Like, if the pope is Polish, that we have God on our side, we will not go give in to the communism regime. We we just made some changes, and yeah, our country is officially free. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
unofficially free, but it's officially free, right? So, yep, that is the first. And when I think about communism, I think of the regime, right? Of
Yeah.
n- empty supermarkets, empty grocery stores.
Like
There
the
was like a
big blocks filled with
um,
buildings.
there wasn't nothing, and there was nothing in the shops, nothing,
Nothing?
simply nothing. Like there wasn't
Nothing.
even. It was like sugar, oil. I think yeah, and I think there was it, and maybe vinegar. That's all they had in shops. So that was like a at first sight it sounded like a terrible country to live in, but this united Poland, this
Hmm.
really united us.
Yeah. It's honestly funny. Like, these ideologies, like, they try to have, like, some sort of very fixed, like, progressive sort of, uh, idea, but it, like, fails all of the time. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. In fact,
Yep,
there's
yep.
this.
They're just religion is a very important part of like a nation.
Yeah, it is very important.
So yep,
In fact, I
yeah, it's
remember
super
a
important.
book I read, or like semi-read, didn't read all, but basically, summary of it is that the book I didn't read that. It had like six principles for what a civilization must fulfill for it to be successful in standing, and one of those was religious. And that is one of the most problematic sort of things in these current sort of years that these countries have a lot of problem fulfilling, you know? Uh,
Yeah, so we all agree on that the modern society is just doomed, is just cursed, it's godless,
because these atheists, they
and
think like they're clever for thinking, like, they think they break out of the matrix
yeah,
for
I said
getting
something like that in like a Hamza server.
Yeah, they think they're like being mega brain, when in reality they're missing the point. That the whole purpose of these is to make a stable moral foundation so everybody can, move on with their lives in more productive manner. Like, for example, the anxiety-based sorts of societies, which are all atheists, they're called anxiety because none of these societies really know how to deal with death, you know? Because, like,
So yep, yep, and they think they're so genius. All atheists think they are so just super genius, but they are not. In fact, they're so cocky and just can't accept there is someone or something above them. Can't accept the higher power. They think they're in control, and the people who just like subconsciously have to just take control of their lives
yeah.
by being an atheist. Because
There's this
if
very
God's not a
influential quote by Saint Paul. I'm not Christian, but it fits very well. It went something along the lines of you are either the slave to God or the slave to sin, you know? Because,
yep.
like, you either follow and are mindful of God and you try to avoid going against what he wants, or you give in to your uh, animalistic desires, you know? Because
Yep.
if you
Yep.
don't have any sort of higher moral standard, then you just give in to what your instincts want, you know?
Yeah. And you know what's the thing is, we are Poland is good, but all of the people with they're atheists because there are atheists in Poland.
Yeah,
They are the people that don't have control of their lives because
yeah.
they thinking like they got control because no God is controlling them,
And they fail
but
to realize
they
that
are not.
instead of
Yeah.
God controlling them, it's their instincts controlling them. And
Yes,
God
you're
is
either a
much
slave to
more
God or a
merciful
slave
to
to
you.
sin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God is much more merciful to you than the
Than
sin
the
of your
sin.
own instincts. These are not
Yep.
equal masters, so if you can't be fully free, you might as well be the slave to the one who loves you, you know?
Yeah. Because the sin doesn't feel good.
It
Like
doesn't.
it to some point it's still engraved in all the people that watching adult content, being rude to people, swearing,
Yeah.
drinking,
Like, we
taking
all
drugs
know deep down this stuff
is
is
just
wrong, but it's our instincts that make us do it anyway.
yep,
Yeah.
of course. Of course. It's just super logical, but people just fail to realize that only thing that is worse that that is worse than atheism is just believing in God, but mate, it's not even believing in God. It's just trying to, I don't know, trying to believe, being a false believer. That's just it's just treachery. You know, you're a yeah. That's just treachery.
Yeah.
You are betraying your own God every day. I'm not saying that all sinners, like addicts,
Yeah.
are a false believers,
Mm-hmm.
but they are people. I know people who like are Catholic, but they are so degenerate. They are such degenerates that I don't even want to talk about them.
Yeah. That's quite often, sadly. But
Yeah,
still, religion, it's
it's
very important. Alright, yeah.
yeah, and in today's society, religion is slowly being pushed away.
Yeah, and it's sad because these people, they don't understand why religion has existed for millennia now. They just think that it's irrational superstition, but if it was, it wouldn't have lasted this long, you know? I mean, compare this to all the atheist sort of regimes in the past, and they don't last nearly as long or successfully as ones that are religious. And they don't seem to pick up on that. It's frustrating in a way.
Yeah, especially for the people that that are believers. Like I've converted not so long ago, like to Islam. I didn't convert like 5 years ago. Yeah, I've been a Muslim for just quite some time now, but it's not like 5 years.
Huh.
So I didn't know about religion till I actually studied it, and it's way simpler than you might think. It's just like
Yeah,
so simple,
it's
but the
simple,
people are.
cause but
Remember
people
we have
complicate
a
it, you
server
know?
by the way. It's called Transcend Modernity. This is the Coco
Yeah,
server, and another server that we want you to join is Base Stocks Podcast. It's
yeah,
our podcast that we created, and it's our server. So we will put the link in the description for that two servers,
yeah,
and you can join. Feel free to join. Feel free to text us from the video so we can so we can just know who joined from the
yeah.
video. That would be
If you want to
awesome
give
if you do that,
suggestions for what we can talk about on our next episode, you can do it in our server.
or in the comment section
Yeah,
if you're too
that
lazy to
too.
join.
If if you don't want to
Yeah, let's
change.
go back to the topic.
Yeah. Atheist societies are ruining people, and people
Yep.
they're too, like they don't understand that why it doesn't work, even though it's like obvious if you analyze it, and they think like religion is some super hyper conspiracy when it's just a nice way to live. In fact, wait, there's a very great image I have of this. I think it would be, it perfectly demonstrates my point. Let me open it. Wait a second.
And when Kogo is searching for whatever he's searching for,
Yeah, you do.
I just want to tell everyone that's listening right now that we will post, I think, one episode a week. That is the initial plan, and we will invite guests or our friends, maybe someone from the server. And if you join our server, there is a specific channel for sending us links or video ideas or podcast ideas, so we can, so we can research your. We can maybe you can share your knowledge.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for. We are open for contacts. You can contact us. Maybe not DMs, but yeah, our server is we have two servers actually. You can contact us on two servers.
Yeah.
So that's an option. We'll put us. I'll put my socials in our channel's bio, so you can DM me
Yeah.
there. And yep, that is. I think that is organization part, and we will continue the topic. I
Yeah.
think we will.
That
We
image I
will. I think
sent.
we will talk. Wait. Okay.
Yeah, this is
I
exactly
see it.
my
I see it.
point. More atheists need to see this image because it perfectly demonstrates what I mean.
I think we can put it as a thumbnail.
Yeah, it would make a very funny thumbnail.
Yep, we can do this. We can do, yeah. That'll be our thumbnail.
Yeah, this is
Um,
thumbnail material.
and I'm about to the last aspect for today because we were actually much more organized than I thought it would be.
Yeah, this
So
went better than we thought.
there's the yeah, and I hope you do too. I hope you find our podcast really, really interesting because that's all we want from
Yeah,
you to
just
find our podcast
something
interesting.
interesting.
But yeah,
Also, I should go back to the religion thing about people. Like, it's not very complex because, well, it has a lot of intricacies to it. It has a very simple concept and premise. Is to just love God, you know? It's a simple thing.
yeah, love God, God loves you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love
love
God,
God,
God loves
God
you.
loves you. You go to heaven.
Actually, I remember
Hey,
that
that's just don't
there is a
sin. You go
Quran
to
verse
heaven.
that's exactly like this. I forgot the Arabic words, but it went something like, "Remember Allah, Allah remembers you." Basically,
Yep.
that's the verse.
Yeah. And God actually created us. Like this creates like God, Catholic God,
Yeah,
Christian God, created Adam and Eve.
yeah,
That just these two people, and it's actually a really interesting aspect of today's society, gender roles, because
yeah,
Adam and Eve are just a man and a woman, nothing else, no ideology,
yeah. It's
no
simple
ideology for that.
biology, you know. People like to make things up to feel unique when instead of being unique and trying to be our own thing, we should try to,
Yeah.
have more unity. Have people actually agree on stuff instead of trying to boost our own ego and try to be better
Yep.
than other people.
72 genders, my man.
Yeah, there's just
I
two.
say. Yep. Because yeah, there's just another concept of the left wing. But yeah, actually, the gender roles, everyone talks about that. We're not gonna go into that specifically,
Yeah, 'cause
because
episode's almost done anyway. Uh,
yep, yeah, our time almost over. So the gender is it's religion based also, like the in relationships, uh, it's it's way more the relationships now really messed up compared
yeah,
to that
because
typical
people,
religious
they try
traditional
to
relationship.
destroy the religious foundation of relationships which were stable for centuries, millennia,
Exactly.
and they just want to make their own new thing because they think they'll be quote unquote freer that way when it makes them less free, you know?
They are not many women especially are hitting the wall. P stars, adult film stars. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
all of those 403s, they are just realizing that without a kid and a husband, they're not feeling as good as they should, as they thought it
Exactly.
would. You know, it. This is just being a promiscuous woman
Yeah.
without a stable relationship and a traditional values. I'm not talking as a woman. You can't have a business. It's not like that. But if you are like a promiscuous woman, just really, I don't wanna offend anyone, but you know what I mean.
Offending people, you don't want to do that. Kind of
Yeah,
the whole thing.
yeah, yeah. But bro. YouTube might take this down if I go too far. That's what I'm.
Just
I
don't
don't care if
use
I
any of the
offend.
naughty words and they won't care.
Yeah, but, yeah. I
In
just don't
fact,
want.
I actually thought of something very clever. You know what? There's this video platform called Odyssey, and they don't take down your video for being offensive. We could just upload our video there too, in case YouTube takes it down.
Yeah, Rumble is like one of those free speech platforms. But yeah, to sum this episode up, modern society is in fact destroying traditional values, religion, freedom of speech. It all goes to it just goes to the bin any time there is something that people, yeah, especially left wing. Because I'm sorry. Like, I know that some left wing people, like some left wing activists, aren't bigots, aren't like Antifa type
Yeah, because
men and women. But yeah, wait, listen. I'm gonna sum this up because we have to, like, finish this.
yeah, if I
Um,
can sum this up, it's basically, if something lasts for thousands of years, it probably has at least some good things about it. You don't have to tear the whole thing down. Why won't people understand that?
they don't. I think they manipulated too. It's not like they just became stupid over time. I think we
Yeah, you
became
have to
actually
be,
smarter,
like, manipulated by
but
some
we became
other thing
smarter,
to
and the
disbelieve in
the
something
smarter
that's
the
lasted
people
for
are,
years upon years, centuries, you know?
they know how to manipulate people. And if someone is manipulated from the day they were born, even if they are so clever, some kind of manipulation stays with them. So
Yeah,
that's
like, I've seen on Hamza's server, there's a bunch of people who have like these feminist moms or whatever, and like they